What's up, math scholars and math haters? This is Mr. W. Today we're going to tackle question 13 in the 6th grade math questions that North Carolina released this past school year. The question tells us that when Jenny bought gas for her car, gas cost $3.45 per gallon, and she bought 12.2 gallons. We're trying to figure out the total cost for Jenny's gas and express the answer as dollars dot cents. So to do a question like this, we'll need to know how to translate problems and multiply decimals. And then also, if you see a question like this and you have to do the gridded response thing, don't worry, I'll go over how to do that too. So to start with, I'm going to look at this word per. Now, per is one of the three big words, along with each and every, that tell me I need to multiply. So if I'm multiplying, I need to know the price of a gallon of gas times the number of gallons. Put a dollar sign there. So cost of gas times the number of gallons. If I'm going to multiply all that together, that's going to be 3.45 times 12.2. Now it's at this point that we get into the part of the problem where we have to multiply decimals. And I'm going to cut to when I have my big board out in front of my camera. Alright, so I have my big board now, and I'm preparing to solve this multiplication problem in two different ways. But to start with, I'm going to do the same thing at the outset, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to remember that this is 3.45, or 3 45 hundredths, or $3.45, and this is 12.2, or 12 2/10, and I'm going to count up 1, 2, 3 decimal places. And whatever method I do, when I'm done, I'm going to put those 3 decimal places back onto my number. This is the easiest way that I know of to multiply decimals. So after I erase this, I'll get started with the way that I remember learning when I was in school, because I'm sure some of you might have been taught this way as well. And I'm going to start by taking my 2 ones and multiplying it by 5 ones to get 10 ones, also known as 0 ones and 1 10. I multiply 2 by 4 to get 8, add 1 to get 9 tens. I multiply 2 by 3 to get 6. So I've essentially just multiplied 345 by 2 to get 690. So now I'm done with my ones place. I put a 0 down to replace that, because now I'm looking just at my tens place, and it's like I'm multiplying by 20. 2 times 5 is 10. Here's my 0, here's my 1. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. And then 2 times 3 is 6. So this number here is like I just multiplied 345 by 20 to get 6,900. Now I'm done with my tens place, so I put 2 zeros down here. I take my 1 times 5, and that gets me 5. 1 times 4 gets me 4. 1 times 3, I have to write it tiny here, but that gets me 3. And now I just have to add all this together. All zeros in my ones place. That gets me 0. 9 plus 0 plus 0, tens gets me 9 tens. 6 hundreds plus 9 hundreds plus 15 hundreds gets me 20 hundreds, also known as 0 hundreds and 2 thousands. 2 thousands plus 6 thousands plus 10 thousands equals 12 thousands, or 2 thousands and 1 10,000. And then for my 10 thousands place, 1 plus 3 gives me 4. And now I had 3 decimal places that I borrowed in order to make this problem easier for myself, and I need to put them back. So I'm going to take my decimal and move it over 1, 2, 3 spots. So I end up with 42.090. I'm going to use the box method to make sure I got the right answer, because it's good to have multiple methods in your head in order to check yourself. So to start with, I need 300 times 100, which is the same as 1 times 3, or 3, and I put on my 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. 100 times 40 is the same as 1 times 4, and I add on my 1, 2, 3 zeros. 100 times 5 is the same as 1 times 5 with 2 zeros. 20 times 300 is the same as 2 times 3 with 1, 2, 3 zeros. 20 times 40 is the same as 2 times 4, which is 8, with 1, 2 zeros added onto the end of it. 20 times 5 is the same as 2 times 5, with 1 0 on the end of that. 2 times 300 is the same as 2 times 3 with 2 zeros. 2 times 40 is the same as 2 times 4 with 1 0. 2 times 5 is just 10. Now I need to add all this together. Can y'all see that? Yes, you can. Okay. Now, all zeros in my ones place, all zeros in my tens place, and then 8 plus 1 gives me 9 tens. Zeros in my hundreds place, 8 plus 6 plus 5 plus 1 gives me 20 hundreds, also known as 2 thousands. 2 thousands plus 6 thousands plus 4 thousands gives me 14 thousands, also known as 4 thousands and 1 10,000. And once again, wait, sorry, that was, I mixed up my numbers. This should be just 2 thousands, a 2 in the thousands place, and then 1 plus 3 gives me 4 10,000s. I move my 3 decimal places over again, and I get 42.090. So now, I got 42.090, and let me go ahead and zoom back in just a little bit. And now that I have this, the question does say to express my answer when I grid it here as dollars dot cents. Now, we can't have 3 digits, or we can't have 3 decimal places in a number that talks about cents, but thankfully, I don't need this 0. I can just call it 42 and 900ths, also known as $42.09. So when I write this in the grid, I have to give each number and my decimal place 1 box. And so I need to bubble in my 4, bubble in my 2, bubble in my decimal, bubble in my 0, and bubble in my 9. So that's how to solve this problem using 2 different methods, as well as how to change it so that it looks like dollars and cents and put it into this gridded response thing.